Imagine living in a world without refrigerators, freezers, or any modern appliances to store your food. How would you preserve meat for months on end while keeping it fresh and delicious? This is not just a hypothetical challenge, but a fascinating reality for the Amish community, a group that has thrived without modern conveniences for centuries. The Amish rely on time-tested, sustainable methods to preserve their food, and today, I'm going to share their secrets with you. One of the primary techniques they use is curing, which involves salting or smoking meat. By using salt, they draw out moisture, creating an environment where bacteria can't thrive. Smoking the meat not only adds flavor but also creates a protective layer that helps prevent spoilage. Another method is canning. The Amish often use pressure canners to preserve meats. This involves placing meat in jars, sealing them, and heating them to a high temperature to kill bacteria. Once sealed, these jars can last for years without refrigeration. Then there's fermentation. This ancient technique uses beneficial bacteria to preserve and enhance the flavor of meat. Sausages and other fermented meats are common in Amish kitchens. But it's not just about the techniques, it's also about the community and the lifestyle. The Amish live in close-knit communities where sharing resources and food is a common practice. This communal approach ensures that nothing goes to waste and everyone has access to preserved goods. So next time you open your refrigerator, think about the ingenuity and sustainability of the Amish ways. Their methods remind us that modern technology isn't always necessary, and sometimes the old ways are the best ways. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Amish meat preservation. The Amish know a thing or two about honest work. Now you might be thinking, meat preservation? That sounds kinda archaic. But stick with me, it's not just about food, it's a way of life. A tradition passed down through generations. We're going to spend some time with folks who live and work in a way that most of us have only seen in movies. We'll get our hands dirty, learn some time-tested techniques, and maybe, just maybe, we'll rediscover something about ourselves along the way. The Amish way of life is all about simplicity. I'm talking about stripping away the unnecessary, getting back to basics. In a world obsessed with speed and convenience, the Amish remind us that sometimes slower is better. Take meat preservation, for example. No fancy gadgets, no complicated recipes. They rely on techniques that have been around for centuries: salt curing, smoking, drying, methods that take time and patience. See, when you slow down, you start to appreciate the process. You learn to respect the ingredients, the time it takes, the effort involved. It's about understanding where your food comes from and appreciating the work that goes into putting it on your table. And you know what? I think that's a lesson we could all stand to learn. The Amish have a deep respect for nature. They understand that they're not separate from it, but a part of it. And that respect is evident in everything they do, especially in their approach to food preservation. Instead of fighting against nature, they work with it. They use natural processes like smoking, curing, and fermenting to preserve their food. Smoking meat uses the power of fire and smoke to create a hostile environment for bacteria. Curing uses salt, a naturally occurring mineral, to draw out moisture and prevent spoilage. These methods aren't just effective, they're sustainable. They don't require fancy equipment or a whole lot of energy. It's a humbling reminder that sometimes the oldest ways are the best ways. Chapter 3. Foster community bonds. Hard work is a great way to bring people together, and in Amish communities, food preservation is a team effort. It's a time for families and neighbors to come together, share their knowledge, and lend a hand. Butchering a whole hog is a big job. So is rendering lard, canning fruits and vegetables, or smoking enough meat to last the winter. It takes a village, as they say. These gatherings aren't just about getting work done. They're about strengthening bonds, passing down traditions, and building a sense of community. The Amish remind us that there's real value in doing things together, in relying on each other, and in celebrating the simple act of sharing a meal. Chapter 4. Appreciate effort and craftsmanship. There's a certain satisfaction that comes from doing things the hard way. From knowing that you put in the time, the effort, the sweat equity. Preserving meat the Amish way is no walk in the park. It's about carefully selecting the right cuts of meat, meticulously trimming away any excess fat, and painstakingly applying the cure or rub. It's about tending to the fire, monitoring the temperature, and patiently waiting for the flavors to develop. It's about taking pride in your work, even if nobody else ever sees it. It's about understanding that the best things in life are often the ones we work the hardest for. And you know what? That's a lesson that extends far beyond the kitchen. The Amish methods of preserving meat are more than just practical. They're inspirational. They show us that it's possible to live well without depending on modern technology and that tradition and ingenuity can go hand in hand. By adopting even a small part of their approach, we can make our lives healthier, more sustainable, and deeply fulfilling. We might not all be ready to ditch our refrigerators and build a smokehouse in the backyard, but we can all learn something from the Amish way of life. The value of simplicity, the importance of community, the satisfaction of a hard day's work. We live in a world of instant gratification. Need something? Order it online, delivered next day. But what happened to learning a craft, understanding where our food comes from? Today we're diving into Amish country to explore their time-tested methods of meat preservation. We're talking about techniques passed down through generations, relying on skill, patience, and a deep respect for nature. This isn't just about meat, it's about slowing down, appreciating the process, and reconnecting with the satisfaction of a hard day's work. Get ready to get your hands dirty, because we're about to learn from the masters of simple living. I've worked my fair share of jobs involving meat, butcher shops, rendering plants, you name it. The modern world loves a shortcut. We want everything fast and easy. But the Amish have a different philosophy. Take smoking meat, for instance. It's not about throwing a slab of ribs on a gas grill. We're talking hours, sometimes days of slow smoking over hickory or applewood. It's a labor of love. No fancy gadgets, no complicated recipes, just fire, wood, and patience. The Amish remind us that sometimes the old ways are the best ways. They've built their lives around simplicity, and it's refreshing. In a world constantly selling us something new, the Amish show us the beauty of doing more with less. A lot of folks talk about sustainability these days, but the Amish? They've been living it for centuries. They understand that we're part of nature. Their meat preservation methods reflect that deep connection. Take curing, for example. It uses salt, sugar, and sometimes nitrates to draw out moisture and prevent spoilage. No fancy chemicals, just simple ingredients used for generations. And then there's fermentation. The Amish harness good bacteria to transform ordinary cuts into flavorful delicacies like sausage and salami. They're not trying to conquer the environment, they're coexisting with it. In a world facing environmental challenges, that's a lesson we could all stand to learn. Now, I'm a bit of a lone wolf. I like to roll up my sleeves and get things done on my own, but spending time with the Amish made me realize the power of community. Preserving meat isn't just a chore for them, it's a social event. Families come together, neighbors help neighbors. It's about connecting with each other, sharing stories, and building bonds that last a lifetime. In a world that's becoming increasingly isolated, the Amish remind us that we're not meant to go through life alone. Sometimes all it takes is a shared task, like preserving meat, to bring us together. We live in a disposable world. Something breaks, throw it away and buy a new one. But the Amish have a different relationship with the things they own. They understand the value of hard work. Preserving meat the Amish way isn't easy. It takes time, skill, and effort. But the result? It's more than just food. It's a testament to craftsmanship. Quality trumps quantity every single time. The pride of a job well done, the satisfaction of creating something special. So the next time you're tempted to take the easy way out, remember the Amish and the value of hard work. The Amish way of preserving meat is more than just a practical skill. It's a window into a way of life. It's about slowing down, appreciating the simple things, and remembering the importance of community. These traditions hold valuable lessons for the present and the future. Lessons about sustainability, self-reliance, and connecting with each other. The Amish methods of preserving meat are more than just practical, they're inspirational. By adopting even a small part of their approach, we can make our lives healthier, more sustainable, and deeply fulfilling.